Chow Down Chow or Random Gaming, depending on
One
what you're
thing that I'm
watching.
looking forward to as a fan before all this stuff happens is to go to an Astro game. And I'm sure you told me that you were actually going to the first game the Astros are
I
coming
was
in.
going to the home opener that was against Houston. And it was going to be sold out. I know the
Yep.
Dodgers fans bought an
Oh,
entire section for themselves. It
yeah.
was going to be a big thing.
Yeah. And it was everywhere they went. Like that's the beauty in this. Like if we had fans, it's gonna be like frontier justice. It's gonna be
Mhm.
wherever they went, right? People are gonna be throwing popcorn at them, and like from their dugout, just throwing stuff down when they're like, there's so much stuff, so much good stuff that was gonna be happening. Now we're deprived of all that, and Joe Kelly's out here standing up for us, and now he gets the equivalent of a 20-game suspension. Come on, that's just a joke. It's just a joke. What do you think is the appropriate response to this? What do you think from the standpoint of the NLB? What should they do with this whole Joe Kelly situation?
If I was MLB, I would
Yeah,
have given him a 2-game suspension, and I would have sent a private memo to the Astros that basically said, if this happens in the future, you just need to not react, just walk to first base,
yeah,
don't do anything, don't intensify the situation. Because when Cray is yelling at him and stuff, I mean, it's not going to lead to anything good for them.
yeah,
And I think for their own benefit, they need to lock it down. I kind of hope they don't because I want to see them lose. I want to see other
yeah,
teams get in their head.
yeah,
But
dude. I First of all, they're like the MLB's lucky in the sense that that didn't turn out to be like an actual brawl, right? No one got hit. It was just like yelling. There wasn't even a lot of like shoving going around, right? So, dude, what we ought to do is first of all get a trade, get Odor on our team, all right. And now I would get him as a starting pitcher, right? You would just hit the guys. I'll tell him to throw as hard as you can, hit the guys, even though it's like 70 miles per hour. That's good enough, that's gonna hurt.
mhm.
Hit the guys, and if they want something to do, just throw your like, dude, throw down your glove, man. We all know what you can do. Go out there and destroy their whole team. That's what I would do.
I
um,
would like to see a team like the
yeah,
Yankees just put in a crappy pitcher as the opener and just tell them just go to town
yeah,
and get
just go to
tossed.
town.
And
Yeah,
that's that. You'll
it's
get your
just,
paycheck. All is good. This is your job.
yeah, it's like the old like hack a shack in like basketball. Like one dude would just come up and like foul for like five straight times, and then just get someone on the foul line at the start of the game. It's the same thing. You get someone who's crappy and throw at him. Who's
Hmm.
who's the who's that Angels pitcher that we saw who's complete garbage? Remember last year we went to a an A's game. It's like this dude who was like hella young and he's straight trash, and he gave up like 6 runs in like 2 innings. I
I
forgot his
wish
name.
that I'd be able to easily identify that, but it
Yes.
speaks to how bad our pitching is that I can't tell you which
Yeah.
person that
He
is.
went up from the minors. He was not he was bad. Yeah, someone like that, just throw at the Astros. Like you can't have like not seen that coming. Like this won't be the I don't know. This won't be the first time, I think. There's got to be something that follows that up. Like I'm surprised nothing
100%.
happened. I'm
I
surprised
think it'll
nothing
happen a few
happens
more
here.
times this year.
Have they played the Yankees yet?
No, I don't think they are based on the revised schedule because I think that
Oh,
now you're only playing the other teams in the West for the Dodgers and the Astros.
hmm. But they're gonna play
So
the Dodgers again, right?
yes, AL West and NL West play a lot of games against each other on the revised schedule.
Okay, so that's good. Just I want retribution. If the fan, I don't know. What do you think about like next year? Let's say everything goes back to normal next year. The season starts. Do you think fans are still gonna come with like a chip on their shoulder, like to the games, like for the Astros?
I think that they will. I don't know
Yeah,
if it'll be as strong as it was for some teams, but I
yeah,
think that for the Yankees and Dodgers, they still will
oh
be
yeah,
going bonkers. And I
yep.
think that a lot of the teams in the AL West, because we play them so much, will also be really pissed off.
Hmm. Yeah, like first trip to Dodger Stadium. We all know how wild that place can be. Like, dude, we got like yeah, we have a rivalry with the Giants, and somehow like two of Giants fans end up dead in our parking lots. Like I'm
Awful.
not condoning that type of behavior. I'm just saying there are some really hardcore fans out there that I'm sure at the first
I mean, that's a
opportunity,
pretty ugly part of the fan base.
exactly, but at the
Yeah.
first opportunity they get, they're gonna go hard at the Astros. I would just advise no Astro fans come to Dodger Stadium when they play at Dodger Stadium. I'm just saying all those
I think you'd be
band
pretty foolish to do that.
yeah, all
I
those
know that, like,
bandwagon
people were
fans.
saying
Yeah.
like, Anaheim is chill, and I know that there was, like, warnings, like, for Astros fans to not come to, like, the opening series when they were here, like, when the season was supposed
Yeah.
to be played out regularly, because there's gonna be so many Dodgers fans and so many Angels fans that just want their blood.
Just don't go anywhere. Honestly, just stay at Houston, you know.
Yeah.
Plus, did you hear about all that? The Houston has like a Chinese consulate that got closed. So all that. So
Mhm.
Houston's a good place to be right now, right? There's a lot of federal protection, federal agents in Houston. You know, you're protected. Just stay at Minute Maid Park, and just don't come to Dodger Stadium. Like honestly, I think that fans are still gonna have a chip on their shoulder because I think the longer you wait for the fans to actually get involved and with all especially with all this happening like Joe Kelly getting suspended, you're sort of building up that frustration. Like I kind of
Yeah.
forgot about it a little bit because it's been so long. Like even like the first Astros game, I wasn't tuning in or whatever. Like it was just whatever. But now this all the stuff happens, and now all of that frustration is starting to get you know brought back up again. And the longer you go on without addressing it, the stronger the response is going to be. I don't know. That's what I think.
Yeah, and I think that's another, like, part of why the MLB's response has been a total failure, is that them, like, continuing to push the same narrative of, "We already punished the Astros, we need to punish everybody else,"
My
is, I
God,
think, only gonna make things worse for the fans. Because I think that, like, the games that the Astros play away at, for a lot of, like, the more boisterous, fan bases are gonna be pretty ugly in the stands at the things, like, being
oh
yelled at, being said, like, it's
yeah,
gonna be horrible.
dude. Just
Um
imagine, like, there's got to be some Astro fans like scattered all around. Like, imagine going to Dodger Stadium and like some Astro fans, like if especially if they're like somehow winning, and he's like, oh, like cheering, shouting, I don't know, saying some provocative stuff. It's gonna be ugly, and I don't think anyone wants that. So that's why they should have handled this better in the first place. Take away the championship is what I would say. Just take it away.
And also think about it for the, like, pitchers that are going against them next year when there's fans. Joe Kelly did this, and there was no fans in the seats,
Mm.
like, egging him on.
Oh
Every team that plays
yeah,
them next year, there's gonna be 45,000 people in the stands begging for the pitcher to throw at the Astro player. And I
yeah.
think that that's really gonna incentivize a lot of pitchers to be that are kind of
Mhm.
on the fence about it to be like, "Eh, I
I
should
might
do
as well
this."
go for it. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You got the
Like
fans behind you.
yeah, like the cheers that Joe Kelly would have got if it was like a home game at Dodger Stadium was gonna be like crazy. So
Yeah.
I guess they're lucky in that sense. Like I always thought this was a pretty lucky break for the Astros that somehow there's no fans this season. Somehow they just got this lucky break. But now I'm thinking, if this season does go on and more stuff like this happens, MLB continues to like mismanages the whole situation, it's gonna actually get uglier like next year. I don't know, man.
I think that this is gonna be ugly for a couple of years. I think it,
Yeah.
like, it is going to take a while for some of the fan bases to kind of come down from this. And I think that as long as a lot of these players are still on the Astros, which for that core is probably going to be a while, I think
Yep.
it's going to be pretty ugly. Because
Yep.
once they go to another team, okay, they'll get booed a little during like their at bat, but like it probably won't be anything crazy. But
Yeah.
I think as long as this core is together and it's still the same team, it's going to be bad.
Yep.
Congratulations! You've made it through the video. Now, go subscribe to all the links down below, comment, and hit that like button, and I will see you all in the next one.